At the time of taping, the pastry chef at the snazzy Ritz-Carlton at Amelia Island was Kevin Boxx. He has since moved to the Ritz-Carlton on St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. His dessert is a cornmeal sweet dough tart filled with goat cheese and served with a lavender citrus confit.
First, we're doing a cornmeal sweet dough. We add the dry ingredients together in a large bowl with cornmeal, all-purpose flour, 6 tablespoons of sugar, and we have 1.5 teaspoons of salt and 3 teaspoons of baking powder, which I added together. I'm going to mix the dried ingredients together and combine them.
There are 1.5 cups each cornmeal and all-purpose flour.
Then we have 4.5 ounces of cold butter cubed up. I'm going to add that. And I like to cut it in with my fingers so I can feel it. And you can use a pastry cutter or a fork if you like. But you want to go into almost like a flat piece, just cut it in, and you want to break it up into little pieces. Once you got the butter distributed evenly, you make a well and add 1 cup of cream.
When the dough just begins to come together, it's moved to a work surface.
It's going to seem like a fairly dry dough, but don't worry about that.
When combining the dough, guard against overworking it. Chill for an hour before proceeding.
You're going to make the dough flat as possible before you even pick up your pen. A little flour. And for this recipe, I'm using a small tartlet shell. You could use a 10-inch shell if you like. Cut it out with a pastry cutter.
Freeze the shells, then pre-bake at 350 degrees until the edges are golden brown.
And I like cutting this dough. This dough is it shrinks a little bit. It won't shrink that much. I like cutting the dough larger than my tart shell, so I could put it in. Then form it almost like a flower or a napkin into a container.
Meanwhile, the filling is started with 20 ounces of soft goat cheese.
Okay, and now for the filling, I'm using a fresh goat cheese curd. It comes in a tub. It's a little bit softer than the raw goat cheese that you buy at a store. And you want to do this like a cheesecake, like cream cheese. You're going to cream the goat cheese with the butter, 4 tablespoons softened butter with the sugar.
Using the paddle attachment, the cheese, butter, and sugar are combined. Then 4 whole eggs and a tablespoon of flour are added.
Then you add your eggs one at a time. After the eggs are combined, you stop your mixture, scrape down the sides of the bowl. And there you have it. Smooth, no lumps. You take your pre-baked shell and spoon the filling into the shell. And bake just until set.
The chef prepares a citrus confit.
We start with the zest of four oranges and six lemons. And we segment the fruit as well. So with 1/2 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, your zest. And I'm using fresh lavender. And the part I'm chopping is the lavender leaves. Take that, 2 teaspoons of fresh lavender.
The aromatic herb lavender is a member of the mint family and is often used in making tea.
And once it reduced to almost like a jam-like consistency, you want to add your segments of fruit. And what you come up with is a candied zest with the herbs and the segmented fruit. You cook it after you add these segments. You cook it for 3 minutes. You don't want to break up the segments that much. When the tart is baked, just until firm to the touch. You cool it down, and it pops right out of the shell.
An interesting marinade for sliced strawberries includes sugar, ground pepper, chopped lavender, and vodka.
The vodka and the pepper reacts to bring out the flavor of the berries and just to enhance the flavor.
Let stand for 30 minutes.
I like to garnish the plate with powdered sugar. Fresh blackberries.
Finally, aged Portuguese goat cheese.